I feel like I'm interviewing myself, but without glasses, where the glasses were supposed to match.
Oh yeah, I'm not wearing my glasses today, but maybe another time.
So last night was a pretty bad night for brown guys on reality TV.
Yes.
My big question is, why didn't you, Tala, AJ, Gary? I thought that there would be like a minority kind of alliance. That never seemed to happen. So was it just that you didn't connect with them?
No, I definitely was in the works of doing that, of getting especially Tala and Gary, and then trying to string Topaz and bring them together to go against the guys. So it was in the works, and the night before I did, a fun session to kind of bond everyone together to kind of sweep the guys and the showmances out.
Right. And I guess it just didn't transpire. I mean, I guess it's hard to do that when the other side has so much power.
Yeah, well, it was looking really good. I think that Tala was on board, Gary was on board, and Gary had Topaz in his hand. And then AJ and Andrew were ready to fire back at the boys, so it was looking like a good power shift.
Now, I know you're a big reality fan.
Yes.
What did you think about the twist? Did you think it was fair? I mean, you left without a bag, so obviously you were prepared for it.
That's the game of Big Brother, though. You really have to expect the unexpected, and you have to be prepared for blindsides. So I actually am kind of happy to be gone due to a twist as opposed to a week of conspiring and campaigning and that type of stuff.
Because now in your interviews, when they say, "Oh, why'd they evict you?" you can just say, "Oh, it was a twist."
Yeah,
it had nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with me. Yes.
I think one of the most impressive things you did was when Jillian was the HOH. I thought you were a goner that week, and you managed to save yourself.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about like what you did and how you managed to convince so many people to turn the vote?
I think that the reason why I was on the block, one of the reasons was I was a talker. Everyone felt comfortable talking game with me, so I knew that if I just shut my mouth and not talk game that week and had people talk on my behalf, it would work in my full advantage, and that's exactly what I did. I had Alec, Tom, Liza, and Peter really do my campaigning for me, and it worked out in the end to an 8-3 vote.
Right. And I feel like when you did that, it was kind of like, this sort of, when you're a reality fan, you have this whole like sort of instinct to, I have to campaign, I have to do this. How tough was that for you not to do that?
It was definitely hard, especially when I had someone alone in a room, and it was hard not to steer the conversation into what are you going to do, but I knew it was in my best interest to not talk the liquor game.
I think watching the show, it's very obvious to me that this is sort of like you're either in the Quattro or you're dating a member of the Quattro. And what I don't understand about that is like it's so obvious when you're watching it on TV that these guys are in power, like we got to take them out. And yet in the house, it seems like instead of taking them out, the girls want to ride them. Gary's not really doing anything. Do you think that they're just intimidated? Like, is that why they're not making a move?
Yeah, I think that there's an intimidation of if you get a boy out, they're coming right for you, and everyone's scared to kind of band together because they don't know where the other people stand. People are scared to go up to Liza, Jillian, and Topaz because they're dating one of the 4 guys. So it's interesting to see that people were just scared, but we were all in the talks of finally getting together and making those moves.
The thing that killed me is like I remember all your pre-show interviews, and you were like, I know reality. I'm just gonna lay back. I'm gonna pretend that like I've lived at home. Nobody's gonna think of me as a threat. And then you go in there and you're like stealing Gary's glitter. And so is it hard? Like, is it hard to sort of employ this like pre-game strategy, and then when you get in the house, you sort of can't stick to the plan?
Well, I think that I actually did stick to my plan in terms of, I said I was fresh off of high school and I still live at home, which is not true, and I said I haven't gone to university, which also isn't true, and I wanted to make sure all my little ploys were behind the scenes when I stole the glitter and spattered it all over. Nobody knew that it was me, right? So I made sure that all my big game moves were not in front of a lot of people, and they were kind of sly and sneaky in that regard.
Did you feel like, I felt like you were one of the rare people that sort of had that vision of like, this is going to make killer TV, like if I do the glitter thing. Did you sort of have that in the back of your mind? Like, I'm going to cut crazy confessionals, I'm going to steal people's glitter, because at least if I do that, people are not going to forget Aneal played this game.
No, not at all. The glitter was actually to convince and get more people on board to go up and feel comfortable going to Suzette being like, we have to get Gary out that week. So it was completely strategy based. I didn't even think it was going to be as well responded to as the audience. I thought it kind of might be a teabag move, but it was complete strategy to make sure that Gary was backdoor that week.
I'm very interested in your take on Suzette, because I actually was talking to Kat and Danielle last night, and I'm like, I love Suzette. I'm like, that girl knows how to play the game. She's like she's the only one I feel like who's not afraid of Tom and Emmett. Do you think she's a good player, or do you think that she's a little bit overrated?
I think she's overrated. I think she might be slightly delusional in regards to her gameplay. Living with her, she's all over the map. She doesn't really know where to stand. And, you know, one week she's gung-ho after Tom, and then, you know, the past few days she's like, oh, we'll save Tom, we have to go after the boys. So I think she's just all over the place, really.
You know, every time somebody is sitting on this couch, I ask them about my friend who I auditioned with, AJ.
Yes.
And it's like, I feel like one time somebody's going to sit here and be like, oh, we loved AJ. But Kat was here, oh, nobody likes AJ. Danielle was here, no, AJ, he's not going to win. So what is your take on him? And why, I don't understand. Like, he had all these things he was talking about. He's going to play this, he's going to do that, and he's not doing anything. So what's up with AJ?
Everyone is very annoyed by AJ.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Number 3 in a row.
And, you know, him being on the block against me especially, he's not a threat. He's not playing a very good game right now. He sucks at competitions, no offense to you, of course, but...
but you know reality, though.
Yeah.
You're supposed to throw competition so you don't come off as a threat, right?
Yeah.
It's his personality, I feel, that's really the...
The personality is a kicker, and he does things that are just... He doesn't know how to cook or clean, so the fact that if he's throwing competitions, it doesn't look like it. It looks like he really does just genuinely suck at them.
Oh, my goodness. Now... wrapping up, like, I talked to Kat, she said that before she left, she gave you a plan, and she was going to she wanted you to tell everybody that you knew each other, and I guess that was in an effort to sort of make everybody think, oh wait, maybe Emmett and Jillian know each other.
And Alec and Peter.
Right, because they live close together.
Yeah.
So why, you didn't use that, right? I don't know if you did it on the feeds or not, but not on the show. You just decided not to go with that plan.
Yeah, just because I felt like Kat stirred the pot before she left, so I wanted to see how it sat before I started to stir the pot more. Obviously didn't sit in my favor because it was a big reason why I was up week 2. So I just decided to kind of back away from it and kind of feel it out to see how the Houseguests would respond.
And is there anyone you modeled your game after, like other players?
Not per se. I knew that I wanted to definitely be strategic and very calculated with everything that I did. But I wanted to play Aneal's game and not really kind of...
Oh, you sound like AJ there with that. And who's your pick to win? I mean, I feel like this is Peter's game. I feel like we're just in one long pause until Peter wins.
Yeah, well, on a personal level, I'd love to see Jillian or Emmett win, but I think Liza is playing the best game inside the house.
And why did they vote for you? Because I thought that was really strange. You know, Jillian went against the herd, Liza went against Tom after saying she was going to vote with him. So was it just your relationship with them?
Yeah, I think my relationship with them and me, Jillian, and Liza, I finally got them to back away from their men and get ready to fire up against them week 4 to get one of them out.
And what's next for you? Now, I know you're writing a thesis about it, but short term, like what's next for you?
I'm going to go back to Florida and just do school and get my undergraduate degree and, you know, just keep doing school.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.